Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time to just go over in probably a more calmer manner what happened on Sunday. Obviously this will be the last video on the match on Sunday. I just felt that on Sunday it was just a bit of a fucking rammy, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess.
And emotions are obviously high after these games, so I think it's probably better to a video where we're probably a bit more calm and can actually discuss the game. I'm joined by Alistair to go over it. How you doing, Alistair?
Aye, good thanks, Josh. I mean, I need counselling to go over this match, but apart from that, mate, I got in there, pal. Got in there.
Hi, good. First and foremost, obviously we done the post-match reaction on Sunday, and as I said, I was quite animated. I was
And I
no
was
very,
quite pissed off. So,
I pissed off. I wasn't very happy. To be honest with the performance that we've seen. Obviously the title there is what went wrong, and has Rodgers got some thinking to do? Alistair, what do you think? Has he got some thinking to do? And what do you think went wrong?
well, let me make it clear. I'm no, I'm no, I'm still, I'm never going to apologise for ranting over losing to Rangers because, quite frankly, I don't like to. And I don't think any of us do. But, however, what I will say is, since then, Josh, I've had thinking to do and thinking to do. I just think that you can't turn it on and off like a tap. And I think that has been the problem. It's been an attitude problem. It's not been formations. It's been players' attitude. The last two derbies have been stinking. End of.
Uh, Aye, obviously, we turned up, played the exact same way that we played in the January game, and that's why I'm questioning Rodgers, to be honest with you, because I'd expect a manager that we are paying £4 million or whatever we're paying a year for Brendan Rodgers to come up with a strategy. Because if he can't, then he's no different to Ange Postecoglou. He's no different to Neil Lennon. I'd expect for what we are paying Brendan Rodgers, which for Celtic Football Club, it's a significant sum of money. I'd expect Brendan Rodgers to be a bit more tactically aware. And I don't think he was tactically aware. I've been seeing things in Brendan Rodgers the last few weeks that, to be honest with you, I've no liked. I've no liked the Brendan Rodgers where he's running his mouth off in media conferences, and it's not acceptable. It's
It's
Celtic that
very
have got.
unlike him, to be fair.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. It's stuff you don't expect from Brendan Rodgers. I'd expect that maybe from you expect that from Rangers. To be honest, if you want to be brutally honest with you, and it's no what I expect from a manager. There was a Rangers spot in the comments of the last video saying that he's the so-called world-class manager. I still believe he's an elite manager. I just don't think he's get a
Look at
massive
his
amount.
record in general, no over 2 games.
But I do think that record is now taking a bit of hiding. Now, to be honest, if you want me going towards the record, Rodgers, let's be honest, he'll pride himself in records because he's that type of person. He's that type. I don't know Brendan Rodgers personally, but he comes across as somebody who wants his name mentioned in every paper column every single week, if that's one way to put it. But so that's what I'm thinking as well. When I've been thinking about the games, he is not. He has not beat Rangers in 90 minutes since the game, the 3-0 game at Celtic
The
Park.
start of the season, yeah.
In September. We were outclassed at Ibrox. We were arguably outclassed in the semi-final. Penalties, lucky a draw, fair enough. We were outclassed probably at the weekend as well. He's got a game at Ibrox, and if he doesn't change it, somebody made a point, I can't remember, and it's like, remember they used to always ask Rangers managers, right, you've no won an X amount of games against Rangers. Brendan Rodgers might have that question coming towards him, because if you're looking at the first game at next season's at Ibrox, so you could realistically looking if he does not win that game at Ibrox with, I think, would that be 5 wins? So say he doesn't win at Ibrox, he doesn't win at Ibrox at the start of next. You're realistically looking at 5 with 5
Um,
defeats.
you-
Sorry, 4 defeats. Sorry.
well, he's lost 3 in 2 spells. It's the first time he's lost 2 derbies in a row.
Aye, no, I understand that. Don't get me wrong, it's still a fantastic record to have, but it is taking a bit of a bruising now, to be honest, because
His ego's taking a bit of
no,
bruising.
aye, and I think,
positive I'm taking.
but that was a positive I
be
thought I
honest.
would have took for the last game, and nothing changed. So I'm going to be brutally honest with you and say, don't get me wrong, the game's over now, so there's not really much point. There's not much point. What's done is done. Rangers deserve the victory on the day and deserve to beat us fair and square. But because Celtic weren't at the races and they were at the races, it's just how it goes. But Brendan Rodgers, we said that you would hope his ego will get bruised when they get beat 3-0, and you're thinking, right, he want revenge. I don't know anymore. I think Brendan Rodgers needs to, for me, and I'm not a football manager, but Brendan Rodgers is going to maybe have to put his ego aside for 2 minutes. And at times, I don't know if Brendan Rodgers can do that, if you want my honest opinion. Because,
Personally, Josh, what I would like to see in the next game at Ibrox is maybe drop a winger and match up midfield. Because let's be honest, I know it's a cliche. That's where you lose these games. It's no shooting the wing, it's no defensively, it's the mid part. We're too nice in the middle of the park.
we're too
Sorry to
nice
say.
we're too
I
nice
know it
overall.
was I know it was I know it was I know he was limited in what midfielders they could pick with Bernardo and McGregor been out. But we do need a bit more beef in there.
Alistair,
We said it.
he still had the chance. He still had the choice of £11 million midfielder. So I get where you're coming from, but Brendan Rodgers has been back to Celtic manager.
No, I'm not saying he's
No,
no, but
I'm not saying, but I think Brendan Rodgers, and I was listening to, I think it's a 20-minute Tim's podcast, and they were saying, and they made a good point. How more easier do you want it? Brendan Rodgers was up against, and maybe I'm being too no hang me enough here, but Brendan Rodgers was up against Barry Ferguson, who was a Celtic Hearts manager, and I'm not being disrespectful when I say this. It's just my opinion. Barry Ferguson out-tactic Brendan Rodgers. That is exactly what he done. Out-tactic Brendan Rodgers. So what else does Brendan Rodgers want? Does he want another £9 million striker? Does he want another £15 million or £11 million midfielder? Brendan Rodgers needs to come under a bit of criticism. And I like Brendan Rodgers. I think he's done brilliant for this club. But there's points when I'm going to that, right, you knew there was a real surge of arrogance for me, and I didn't like it.
In the dugout either. Also in the park, I felt.
I know, definitely. And do you know what, you might say, well, fans can be arrogant. We're not the ones that need to go out there and get a job.
We're not the ones out in the middle of the park.
Aye.
Playing up front and in goals or centre halves. So we rely on people representing us on the park and the dugout to do the business.
Aye.
Let's be honest, Josh, it's such a feel. I don't know about you, but I've been a little bit of a sore head since
No, to be honest, to be honest, to be honest, I'm kind of over now because I'm just like, what else can we, the game's finished. And it's not like it'd be different maybe if it was a last minute gutter where Celtic have played brilliant and maybe Rangers have nicked it. Rangers deserve to beat us, let's be honest with ourselves here. Rangers deserve the victory. So as much as I don't like losing to them, and it's the same on the other side, I don't like losing to Rangers, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh well, Rangers were something went against Celtic. Celtic were just no good enough, and that's my honest
We
opinion.
can't start the way we started. Let's
No,
completely.
definitely.
I mean, if we got away with a draw in Sunday, we would have won a watch. Let's
I
be
know,
honest. I remember
definitely.
saying to you when the second goal went in, right, just hold it, and if you nick it, great. If just hold it, because
Aye.
after the first half, I'd have snapped a hand off you at half time for a draw. Let me tell you.
And I'm not saying that Brendan Rodgers needs to completely rip up the tactics sheet, but he needs to make changes. And
You-
by the way, one of the big things we need to start binning, see this point of attack pish, and I'll call it that. It is fucking nonsense. I watched a
Well,
clip right, and I think it was for 20-minute times again. Their own corner. You've probably seen it, right? It was for their own corner. And you
and I
probably
ended
remember
up
it
back at
aye,
Michael. I
you probably remember it back in the ground because we were all grumbling. Like this point of attack nonsense is utter pish. It's just an excuse not to play passes with tempo. How can you end up back at the goalkeeper when you're in corner?
but
It's
if you start slow, Josh, that's 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 what happens. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm telling you that's what happens.
and don't get me wrong, I think Brendan Rodgers is a great style of play, but it can be sucking slow as fuck sometimes, man. And then people try to spin it. Oh well, we're just trying to wear the opponents down. Bollocks, man. No, it's balls. You can.
I mean, get up when you're 2 and 3 up. That's
Aye,
fine.
show how you wear an opposition down by
Hold
playing
them early.
playing them not even just kill them early. Play incisive passes that are going to get them. Guessing where's Yang running to, for instance. But I'm sick of Nicholas Kuhn getting to the byline and cutting back.
Yang was
What?
direct. I'm gonna give
Aye,
Yang and the Rocky a pass, Mark, because I thought they were the only two that showed even a glimpse of what they're capable of.
aye.
And I like this team, by the way. But when they're bad, they're really bad. There's
No,
no in
no,
between them.
definitely. And to be honest, Alistair, I felt for weeks we've not been anywhere near it. And we've done the bare minimum in games. And I said to you after, and you like your phrase is, "Give the team a break," as you would always say. And I'm not trying to say, "Oh, I'm right," but I just felt something like this was coming because I don't think we've
I'll
been
put it this way,
playing
Josh.
great.
If it had to come, I'm glad it came at the back end of the season. Let's be honest. I know the Scottish Cup is completely different, but the league's done. But I don't want to be going into next season with this hanging over us. I don't.
Aye, and there's going to be questions. If we don't get a result, Ibrox, there's going to be questions, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Because we all, as I said, we laud this team when they do well. We laud Brendan Rodgers for his impeccable derby record. See, after the cup final, we were talking about how his record was brilliant. Now it's I know it's only 2 defeats, but it's the manner of those defeats that's not acceptable. And I'd expect Brendan Rodgers to make changes.
Can I
Not
can I be completely honest with you, Josh? The game after the split, see if you offered me a draw right now, I'd take it. Just stop the rot and regroup for next season.
Alistair, do you want to be honest? I think we need to win Ibrox. To be honest, I do think
Aye,
not.
put them back in the box. Aye.
No, in terms of it's not going to have an impact on the season, right? I get that, but Celtic have won one derby in the league this season. They've won 2.
Aye.
Realistically, we are looking at the fact that they could potentially win 3 derbies and us winning 1. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. And the manner that the other 2 derbies in the league have felt it's no acceptable. I'd understand if we've, played really well and, we've
Part of them and then
not even just battered them, they've played well, we've played well, and it can go either
they've
way.
stuck it in the last minute.
Aye, but that was the last two have been domination, complete domination of Celtic,
Certainly
and
the first half, I worked with complete domination. First half, Sunday was probably just a game of two halves. We had the majority of first, second half on Sunday, and they did the whole of the first half
aye.
on Sundays.
But what I think Rangers done in the second half, they knew they were 2-0 up. We can just defend this. We didn't give them anywhere near enough to think about at times.
Yeah, I
When
know.
we got the two goals, we were giving them a lot to think about. Yang pace, Hatate was moving, Maida was moving, and then we just go back to passing it. That will suit Rangers down to the ground because this is what they do in Europe. They let the team come on to them like we did. We didn't even come on to them, to be honest. They let us have the
We
ball,
just let
stung
them get into the slide and boss the game, and that's what
aye,
cost us.
and stung us on the counter attack. Another, you always pick up wee strange bits in the games. What the fuck's going on with our throw-ins?
I know. I know.
Maybe it's just because I'm going mental, but you always, when we get beat right in any off any team, you always pick up in the beat. But I've noticed it. Right, so we win
Oh,
it.
teams love playing that ball down the inside channel.
Aye,
Every
but
time,
what
every time
happens?
against us,
Aye, what happens? Right, we win a throw in.
we end up losing it, going
No,
back the way.
not even losing it. We end up, so say Sloop gets the ball, Johnston now saunters across the pitch. Get on the fucking park.
Yeah.
Wait. And then, we'll get the ball, and then Rangers are in their shape. They deal with it, bang, here you go. Rangers on the other hand, Tavernier got the ball, bang, in it goes, quickly catching us off guard.
You know
That's
the
what
difference? They've got players that can cross the ball, we've no.
Aye, and that's what caught us out in the first goal. Quick throw in, and then a flurry of corners, and then they get the goal. So it really it does infuriate me, to be honest.
Getting off in a tangent, Josh. If we go through another summer without getting a physical number 6, I will scream because our midfield is too powder puff.
Aye, no, definitely.
It really is.
And we're talking about. So I do think we'll win the league, of course I do. But I think you Rangers have gave Hearts, they've given St Johnson a blueprint. To be honest with you, and this
Yeah,
is when I think this where Rodgers has got a lot of thinking to do, not just for the Rangers game, for the Scottish Cup ties and the league ties. You need to change it a bit. The tempo needs to get up, and I do hope we're coming to the end of a big spell of games, so I'm hoping the break helps them. But I'm not having it that it's because I played a lot of games. Being a football player, you get paid very, very fucking handsomely for doing what you do. Don't get me wrong, they're going to be tired, but that was no tiredness on Sunday. That was if
that
anybody
was
should have been,
just that was just half-assing it. Let's be
aye.
honest.
And if any team should have been tired on Sunday, it was Rangers. They played 120 minutes
Well, if
against.
you think about it, the second half they were that much.
Aye.
Did we put them under
No, we
pressure?
didn't punish
No.
it. We didn't punish it at all. And I talked there about Alice about the Ajax game, Ibrox game. You know, the team need to give the fans something because
They
that's not good
always
enough.
won, aye. They
They
definitely
always
always.
they always won, and we need to just get this league wrapped up, and we need to go to Ibrox with a good,
I'd like to go to iBooks, and this is just my opinion, and win and be allowed to gloat. There's no sense in going to iBooks and gloating and then getting your pants pulled down again. Because that's what's happened the last two games. And I
aye,
know Sunday was a 3-2 defeat, but let's be honest,
about 5 or
had it
6.
been had it been had it been 3-4 nothing at half time, we couldn't have argued.
It could have been easily 3-0 because you look at that Cherny chance. He
Look
needs
at
to
the Balogun chance.
aye. So that could have been easily 3 and 4 now at half time. And I was listening earlier on to the Celtic Way, obviously Tony Haggett, good friend of the channel, whatever. He was saying he made a good point, and I thought this was a good point. The Martin Celtic have won the league at Ibrox, and this is a good point, and it ties into what you said about the last 2 years where we've won the league, and it's kind of just been like, oh, it's the last game. We'll just see what happens. Kobe Ashley plays, your O plays. Celtic need to treat this last derby game as if, even if we've won the league, which I think we will do by that point.
You will have by then
Aye.
because there is no way the SPL are going to
the
make it
authorities would stop that.
a second game after the split.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the third game would be my guess.
But even if we have won it, this is my point, is you treat it like you're going out there to win the league.
Yeah.
And that's what I expect.
My point.
And that's what I expect. And I think that's how Rangers will be treating it. Obviously, Rangers are light years behind, but they'll be treating it no, but we've got a chance to beat them 3 times in a season. 3 times in the trot. So we need to go out there and treat it like we're about to go and win the league and show that fighting passion which the supporters deserve. And in terms of the tactical side, as I said, Rodgers has a lot of thinking to do, because if he goes into that game and just plays the same way, then I will be questioning why we are paying Brendan Rodgers £4 million a year. Also, before the next game, until the end of the season, keep your mouth shut and get focused. Because I don't like the whole
or they've no improved kind of.
Aye, no, just the unprofessionalism. I'd say it's unprofessional. I really do. Yeah.
I mean, me and you can say that because we're support.
But if that's out in the public media, right? The old
men
cliche
against boys.
No, I know even that. It's just about put it on the dressing room wall.
Yeah, that's what Martin did when Graham Souness said, men against boys at the Blackburn. I know I'm going back a while ago. You're doing the team.
You're gaining them fuel, and everybody's talking about obviously how they've come out with doing on Stirling's called Celtic Park shithole. You've got Raskin coming out. And I'm everybody's getting annoyed about it, and I'm like, why? I was like, because we let this happen. We've let him win a game against us at our own backyard, so the players need to use that as fuel to go at that. And if they have got any balls, they would use it as fuel. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll be looking at it and go, "Oh fuck, we've fucked up here," because we have. And don't get me wrong, it's just we're still going to win.
I do think Rodgers will be cheesed off.
But he needs to change his ways.
I heard people saying, "Oh, Rodgers won't really care." I don't believe that he'll care because he's a professional, and I think what has happened, Josh, is we've kind of got complacent, and that is very unlike us.
Do you want me? I'm going to ask you a question. I might not answer this. Do you think a lot of these players, right? And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to have a go at them here. Have went like that, right? We've done our 6 months. The league's done. That's fine. We can just coast. Because
I've said that to you a while ago.
I think after December.
I don't want to pick individuals, but there's players in that team that I think have checked out.
I think they've either checked out.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out who they are.
I think they've since and before probably get the comment on for a treble and all that. I get that, and I think it's brilliant. Celtic going to win another treble. So you want the team. So and we'll go, and when that hopefully happens, we'll discuss that and we'll look at that and go, brilliant. And you know what? But we're talking about how we are not getting it right at the moment in derbies, and that's 100% correct. Rodgers is getting it wrong in derbies at this moment.
Do you know what I think Cullen is at the moment, Joe? The lack of depth.
I think it plays a part. I think it plays a part, but I'm looking on the tactical side of it and how unmotivated they looked at the weekend, to be honest. And I'm looking at saying, right, you should be motivated because that's big part of the reason why Rangers won, because they were motivated. Barry Ferguson got them
I'm
up
going.
for it.
I'm going to be a slight bit controversial here. It's no comparison that there was Rangers fans for the first time in their wee dugout, right? And by that I mean McGregor, Ferguson, and Dodds, and McCann, obviously. Although McCann's not really a Rangers fan, but we'll not go down that road. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, I think they got the staunchness from start to finish. I didn't see that in their dressing room.
But sometimes that's all you need. I know we laugh
I
and
know
joke
that's
about
what
this.
I'm saying.
I know we laugh and joke and all that, or the staunch Avengers and all this shit, but that's all you need. A bit of passion. It was so lacking in the Celtic side. And that's when I say Brendan Rodgers has got a lot of thinking to do. He has, and we're not. This is where we what because he needs for next season as well. He's going to need to work out because it's not been working against Rangers. Even in the cup final, it wasn't working. There needs to be a
I'm
lot.
going to say something controversial, Josh. Well, maybe no controversial, but Sunday was the first game. I'm like, who's going to step up? And do you know the first person that came to mind? There's no here. Kyogo. He would step up and bail you out a hole, and they would at least try to.
Aye,
But who's the next Kyogo? That's the thing.
aye, and I do think I think it's the players are take a lot, but I do think tactically there's just something not right at the moment because I don't think it matters who you put in there.
And can I just say, Josh, there's no the right time to change a system at the back end of the season.
But you can make changes.
You
There's a
can,
difference, and Brendan Rodgers
you can
doesn't
tweak
seem
it.
to. He can tweak it, and he's not doing it, which I just think's fucking ridiculous. If you want my honest opinion, it's not
Yeah.
working. He needs to stop trying to think it's working. You don't need to just play. I know he likes to play this really he overkills in possession. For me, at times it's overkill. Sometimes why not go long? Try and get Nick the pay, especially against Rangers. Maybe not get against like St Mirren, St Johnson's, Mullows. When they're sitting behind the ball, but against Rangers, go long, try and get Jota in behind who's quick. Kuhn in behind, use their strengths. Do what they done like with Cherny. They got Cherny in behind. No, but our wingers just get the ball and cut back inside. And let's be honest, Cherny ripped us apart. And more than
And
when
I
more wins
do,
than one
and
shot.
I
But
do think you could have the best striker in world football, and I'm not defending either here, but we don't play with striker strength. We don't.
aye.
We don't. We don't.
I know. But Alistair, obviously it's the international break at the moment. Obviously we're back not the next weekend against
A
Hearts.
week, a week, a week and Saturday.
Aye. So it's just about obviously getting back and trying to get this league wrapped up and then, obviously looking towards a treble. But as I said, Alistair, there needs to be something. They need to be looking at this and go, all right, where are we going wrong? Brendan Rodgers needs to be looking. This is where he makes his money.
Physicality, please. Well,
Aye.
an easy touch at the moment, Josh. Not
Aye.
an easy touch. Maybe that's the wrong phrase, but in derbies, we've certainly been sussed out. As you like to put it, and we
Aye.
need more strengths to be bold than just the one system.
And that's what, like, when people say about physicality, but I also think the players who are there, they've got the technical ability to outclass physicality. How do you think players like Real Hattati outclass players like John Lundstrom? Because they've got the technical, and that technical ability for all the players wasn't in show. So yes, I agree we need physicality, but they've also
You
got the
do in
technical.
certain areas.
Aye, but they've also got the technical ability to outclass the physicality side of it, and that wasn't on show either. So that's where the disappointment comes to me. But as I
Do you
said,
know,
Alistair,
do you know the turning point for me, Josh? And this is when Clement did. He watched. You remember the Bruce game? He watched
Aye,
Bruce and he looked about how they done it, and that's all Rangers have done the last two derbies. Two
it's worked
derbies
because
have been good the final.
and it's worked, to be honest with you. It is, let's be honest. It's worked, but as I said, Alistair, we need to just obviously, as I said, this will be the last we talk about it on the channel in terms of a video thing. But we need to just get back to winning ways after the split again, after the national break against
Let's be
Hearts.
honest, we're kind of lucky we've got a mini derby with Hearts.
Aye, I
So,
mean, and this break needs to refresh them. They need to come back with a hunger, and I fully expect it because if I don't,
and
I'll be very, very
I
annoyed.
hope to, I hope to God Bernardo's fit because he gives you an option, and we
Aye,
haven't had many of those recently.
but I think the big option needs to be players that come a bit more hungrier because I don't think it's been there, to be honest, for a few weeks now, to be honest, and it
I,
showed on Sunday.
I don't. I'll say this, Josh. I think, and I think we alluded to it. I think it's a big 4 or 5 months for the club in general.
Yeah, I
I,
think it is. It always was to be anyway because we didn't do any business realistically in January, so it's always going
apart from bringing Jota back, which
to,
we really need to put a lot of work in, really.
But I don't think we don't even need to focus in the summer just now. We need to focus and get winning the games, get
Winning
this
the
league back.
treble,
Aye. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. We'll be trying to be back with some other content. Obviously, it's difficult to make stuff over that
difficult
now.
when there's nothing really happening, boys.
But we'll be back at some point. Hopefully, a video this week. Until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hey ho.